Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Lisa Dannielle, and this is Zoom After Dark. Today we have Kory White, entrepreneur. What else do I call you? Business
Don't
extraordinaire.
don't do the most on here, Lisa.
don't, don't put
Don't
20 on
say
2.
all that.
All I
Yeah,
will say is that he's here today. He's going to share some amazing insight with us. I'm super, super excited for us to have this conversation, because it just needs to be had. Okay, we just
absolutely.
need to have some clarity. So without further ado, Kory White, how are you today?
Today has been a day, but I'm good. Today has definitely been a day.
Man,
But we all know that those are the days that make you appreciate the days that come. And you know what I'm saying? You can't have good days without bad days.
listen,
So
exactly.
absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, I am so very grateful for you to come and just share some of your insights on this with us, because I will just go out and mention that I remember first meeting a couple of our mutual friends in the I Have a Love Jones. What is it? I've got a Love Jones.
I've got to love Jones,
I've got
yeah.
a Love Jones group,
Hmm.
and it's an awesome group, and full of very, very opinionated
Absolutely.
men and women. And in that group, it was amazing, because it was kind of based, like it was similar to a conference like a summit that I did in California last year,
Okay.
where married people were able to talk to single people, because very often single people talk to single people about being married, but rarely do they talk
Hmm.
to married people. So the premise was very, very attractive to me, because I was like, wow, that's exactly where we need to be. Right?
Where
So
we need to
kudos
be,
to you
exactly.
for that.
Yeah. So I mean, it came about literally. It was just I think a few friends and I was just having a conversation about just the need for men and women to have more of a community of people that's trying to figure it out. It's easy to say to your friend that comes to you and says, "Hey, you're doing something that's kind of crazy. That's not the right mindset to have." It's easy to say, "Nah, homeboy or homegirl, you tripping."
Right.
But when you have hundreds, possibly thousands of people saying, "Hey, that's messed up. You got a messed up mindset," like not just men or not just women.
Right.
It puts you in a place where you have to have the conversation. At least not nobody's gonna expect change from the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's not real,
It's not a real
per
thing.
se,
Exactly.
but it still provokes thought. So that's what I think it's about. That's what everything is about when it comes to relationships, life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you can ponder, you know what I'm saying. I think it was yeah. Don't get me. Anyway, I was gonna say something real profound, but let me back off that one because I
Well,
forgot the quote.
later. Let's be profound later.
Yeah,
Okay. That's okay.
absolutely,
I'm good with holding off on the profound
absolutely.
statement a little later. When it comes back
Nah,
to you,
yeah,
right? So
cool.
listen, I wanted to talk to you because for the longest time, I thought, oh, the people, and if you see me looking over here, there's another screen that's showing me when I can let people in and whatever. So
Yeah,
I'm not.
and I'm over here trying to basically share this what we're
Absolutely.
doing. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah. So I was noticing, and I have noticed just in the course of I've written a book, Your Hidden Season: Discovering the Beauty in the Wait. It is a single and waiting book, but it's not a book that it's not a book that is a how to get a man book. It's really just kind of
Hmm.
self-work situation, kind of challenges some faulty belief systems and things of that nature, right? All of
Hmm.
a sudden I was kind of hurled into this relationship space where,
Okay.
you know what I mean? If you say the word relationship in a book ever, they put you in this space, and all of a sudden you get this visibility, and you're unavoidably aware of people's mindsets as it relates to relationships, what they think is right, what they think is real information, what you may think is absolutely absurd. They're living by these premises. And so,
Mhm.
one of the things I really wanted to go in detailed with is because this relationship status of we're not single, we're not married, it's complicated. I wanted to kind of dive into that because I feel like that is the epitome of the Mars versus Venus situation right now. We are in a situation where you have a couple of people are at this point okay sharing a man, right?
Hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
We're
Yeah, absolutely.
polyamorous
It's
now.
real. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Or we're okay sharing a man as long as he's paying bills, right? Or
Hey, I'm gonna let you keep going.
listen, I'm gonna say all of the things I've heard, and
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
well,
keep going. Keep going.
we're gonna break it all down. We are the girl that goes on the first date, and by the end of the date, the man knows the name of the children that they're going to have together, even though he doesn't know their last name. She's letting them know right away. You've known me 5 minutes. I need to know what we're naming our children and where we're going to live. You got the girl
Mhm.
that's in love with the hobosexual, which is the man who, is sleeping with her just so
Freeloader.
he can live in her house.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
The
we
hobosexual.
hobo, like man that
That's hilarious.
if he doesn't live with you, he's living under a freeway. Okay,
I get
either
it.
way,
Either
we got
way, he
it.
living. He
Right,
alive.
right. He's alive, and hopefully, he's not in your house while you at work sucking up all your air and eating your groceries. But
Mhm.
I digress. We have gotten to this place, not just women, but men as well, where we are willing to accept anything so we can say we have something. And that's not everybody. But I'm noticing that the messaging as the generations change is diminishing greatly. We either have these pie in the sky, he's supposed to buy me a jet and buy me a house expectations, or we have no expectations. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We either know we want to get married tomorrow, right? Or we're just holding on until he determines what the relationship is going to be. So I wanted to talk to you today, and I want us to just break it all down. So um, the first thing I wanted to talk about was I want you to define for me what you think that its complicated relationship status is defined as.
It's complicated. For me, it's complicated means that for somebody to verbalize that they're in a it's complicated situation, it would have to mean that they possibly want the relationship, but they can't quite figure out this sweet spot that's going to propel them into the next. I mean, I personally always assume the goal is marriage, right?
Right.
So if if we're able to if we're able to verbalize that it's complicated, it means that I want it, but we got to figure some stuff out. It's I can't even say I'm in a relationship, and I can't say I'm not in a relationship. So and it's safe to say. Well, I won't even go further than that. That's my answer for that.
Okay. Well, that's good because we're gonna go further. So listen. So
Yeah,
I'm not in a
absolutely.
relationship, and I'm not in a relationship. I want to go back there because let me tell you a trend that I've seen, and I have to speak from a sister's point of view because I am the girl that, well, before COVID, I loved my brunches with my girlfriends. I love
Hmm.
listening to the conversations, and some of the stuff I'm hearing, it's, one, it's always problematic to make the assumption that you're in a relationship with someone and that you're the only person they're seeing if you haven't had that conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of times, women don't like to have the conversation because they don't want to come off as pushing too fast, but at the same time, they still don't know. So when they realize that the guy they're talking to, right, is also
Hmm.
talking to other people, they are upset about a line that has not been defined. And I think that can be cross-pollinated between men and women, because there are some
Absolutely.
times when men, it's like, I've talked to you 4 days in a row. We're together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
You
might not
my
have said
girlfriend.
it. Right. You're my girl. And I may not see you with nobody else because you're mine now. But we've
Mm-hmm.
never had the you're mine conversation. As a
Mm-hmm.
rule of thumb, if we have not discussed it, it did not happen. That's me. Right? So I don't care if we talk on the phone 24 hours a day. If we haven't had a conversation that says this is our trajectory and we're not with anybody but each other, then that should not be assumed.
I guess it's important to note, 1 second, who would initiate this conversation. I hope you wasn't going there, going somewhere else with your point, but who's the person to initiate that conversation?
Right.
Because I mean, like, you can say, because this is the thing, you have different personality types. You
Absolutely.
have people that operate in a space where they're not as forward, or will never initiate the conversation of having, what are we? What are we? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's important. I think I always we put it in the group a lot for people to take the personality test
Right.
and to
Yep.
figure out what you are, to try to find out, when you meet someone, hey, this is who I am. This is who. Let me learn the Cliff Notes version of you, so
Right.
we can get ahead of all of these problems that we're
Right.
inevitably going to run into, because
Right.
we're going to have issues. It's just, that's life, right?
Right.
So yeah. So I think that's important, is to, if you at this point in our lives, like, we got to intentionally date. And I think intentionally dating is not just picking somebody just because, just for whatever reason, and saying I'm gonna date you. No, I mean, it's like, literal pre-work. It's pre-work. It's the stuff that it's a prerequisite for the beginning of anything relationship wise. You have to figure out those things, and you have to be intentional about using the tools that are out there. You get what I'm saying? If you're a reader, if you like to do outdoor stuff, if you need to figure out those things. You need to find people that do the things that you do. So I think that's a very important to the prerequisite for anything relationship, right?
Absolutely.
So,
And I want to go back to what you said, because you said who initiates that conversation. Some
hmm
people may be more extroverted than the other one.
hmm
Now, my question is, let's say no one initiates the conversation. They're
hmm
just together, it's presumed. What is to stop a man or a woman from then dating other people because you have not had a defining conversation? I think that it is very uncomfortable. I think it's definitely an uncomfortable conversation, but I
hmm
think it's important for us to highlight expectations going forward. Right? If the path is marriage one day, it doesn't have to mean the path is marriage today, but I do need
Tuesday,
to
yeah.
know where we're going. Right? When I
Going.
get in a car, I'm not just jumping in the car with you. I want to know where we're going. And if I don't know where we're going, then
Going
it
to,
makes it harder for me to do that pre-work to see if we're compatible. Because if I have lifelong aspirations for my secular job, what I do out here, I travel extensively. I travel internationally extensively. Before COVID, I was gone every month. That's a hard relationship for someone who is hoping to marry a stay-at-home mom.
hmm
You see what I'm
hmm
saying? So
Absolutely.
in the beginning, that's pre-work stuff. Where is this going? Are you comfortable with my lifestyle? Do you understand that this is my career? So it's not something that's going to change because I fall in love with someone. Are you okay with that? Does that work for you? A lot of
Mm.
times we find ourselves like, I see all the memes of, they fell in love on Wednesday. On Friday, he's on their Facebook. They're in love and they're posting every love meme. And then it's, if you don't accept me as I am, and all of that, because they had a disagreement over the weekend, or because they found
Right.
he was kind of hanging out with somebody else. How do we have those hard conversations, and when should we have those hard conversations?
Well, I mean, we should, like I said, I think the pre-work will expose who's going to be in leadership roles. I think we have to remove, at this point in our lives, we have to remove expectations. Expectations I had some chat with one of my friends that I talked to on a very often
Mm-hmm.
about, you know, all of these things, and we hash it out. You know, like we have serious conversations about, you know, whether I think he's doing healthy stuff in his relationship, and whether and I've never really had that man to man relationship where I can really divulge my sensitive
Yeah.
self, because I think it's, you know, men want to be macho. But the point that I'm trying to make about that relationship is that, you know, with my boy, is that I can come to him and tell him something, and he'll tell me that's you know, you're being belittling, or that's controlling, or that's, you know what I'm saying, that's passive, you know. And so in a relationship, in the beginning, well, you have to be doing the work before you meet the person, is my point. You have to have people in your life that you can talk to and have real honest conversations with, and they give you real honest to God feedback. Because
Right.
if you have a group of people that's just pacifying you, telling you what you want to hear, you'll continue to have the same problem, because nobody's checking you, nobody's holding you accountable for who you actually are, not who you would rather be, or who are most comfortable being, you
Mm-hmm.
know, around your peers and around. So if you do that self work, I think that making sure that you have a healthy understanding of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
knowing yourself, and going into a relationship with some kind of understanding of that, and being you know, straightforward. If you meet somebody that you're interested in, you need to tell them that you may have the tendency to, you know, like maybe be indecisive. You
Right.
know, if you're a little bit indecisive, let them know that. You know what I'm saying? So I can say, hey, I know that I need to step up to the plate and be a little bit more decisive in restaurant picking, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever else we decide to do. Because, you know, I know that that's one thing that you told me from the beginning, that you know, is the thing about you. It's not bad. It's not, you know, not necessarily good, but it's just you. And that's
Right.
what I need to do, is understand that perfection is asking for, or my expectations of you is asking for you to be perfect for me. If
Mm.
I expect you to do anything, it's me asking you to be perfect how I want you to be perfect. And
Mm.
so you should prefer
Mm-hmm.
that the mate that you're seeking to have a relationship with, you should prefer that they do this or do that or be this way or whatever. Hey, um, uh, Stacy, you know what? I expect you to, you know, cut my bread when we sit down at the dinner table to eat. That
Right.
sounds totally different than, hey, Stacy, I prefer that, like, you know, it's a thing about me that, you know, that if you could do it, maybe you could cut my bread. It's something that, you know, that I just like. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like, I expect versus I prefer.
Right.
And so if you come into the relationship with a healthy understanding that you
Mm-hmm.
should be preferencing, you should prefer things to be instead of expecting, and then you don't, you know, even if a preference is like, hey, I prefer you to do this, but if you don't want to cut my bread, that's cool too, you know.
Right.
So I think that's the most healthy thing, and I like to make things simple.
Okay.
So if you can take that concept of prefer, expect, because we all do that. I expect this man to do this for me. This man has to pay my bill. This man has to pull my chair out. This man has to walk around the car and open my door. I'm gonna sit in the car. I expect him to do this. I expect
Mm.
this, and this. But hey, if you prefer all those things, I ain't got no problem. You know what I'm saying? But if you just
Okay.
sit
So
there in the car, I'm like,
I want to challenge that though. Hold on. Let me
what's
tell
up?
you why.
Why?
Because it doesn't do us any good to say what we prefer if we secretly have those as expectations. So doesn't it require a mindset change? Like if I say to you, I would prefer that you come to the door, right, and pick me up versus honking your horn when you're outside. If I say I would prefer that to you, right? That only happens if you truly care about my feelings, okay? But if that's not something you want to do, you're not going to do it. If you don't do it, because believe it or it still remains the decision of the person whether or not they're going
Mm-hmm.
to be receptive to what you've said is acceptable to you. So if I say, I'd really prefer it if you came to the door to pick me up, right? and then he doesn't, he honks the horn again, I'm lit, right? I'm upset because I didn't prefer it. I expected it out of respect for me. So if I go to a prefer versus expect mentality, I have to first do it in my own mind, right? Because I can say I prefer something all day long, but if it's more than a preference for me, if it's a deal breaker for me,
absolutely.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't get us. Now I'm mad and you don't even know why. We're in the car.
Well, and the reason I think I embrace that concept is that we have so many expectations. That's why we don't get anywhere. It's because, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming in this thing with a list of 100 things that you have no idea what I'm doing. So if I meet you on the first day or the second day or the third day, then I get to telling you about my expectations, and it's like, hold on, like you can't, you know, like you need to do this for me. Like I don't really need to do anything. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? Like you can kick rocks. We just dating, you know? Like, but that's what I'm saying. So like that's the thing. So you basically telling this person in the nicest way. You're not telling them they have to do it. You're giving them the option. That's what you want to do. You don't want to force anybody to be with you or force anybody to fake it who they not. You know what I'm saying? So if they start doing all these things that
want to do.
Say it again.
I said, or do anything that they don't want to do, because I know one thing I will say, and you tell me if you think this is true or accurate. One of the things I love is not only that my partner will do something for me, but that they want to do it for me. Right?
Absolutely.
Some things that if I just know that, listen, you didn't have to do that, but you just did it because you want to see a smile on my face. It just hits a little different than,
there you go.
All right.
There you go.
Right? Like,
there you go. Yeah. No, I totally embrace that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. And you're not making them do anything. You're just saying, hey, this is who I am. And so when they start doing that stuff, then you know that that's the one, because they are listening to you. They're tuned in to who you are. They care about what you say. They're willing to do, you know, things that's the most important thing. The most important thing is things that have been done for me as a man. And women, I'm gonna say this too. Women kind of downplay how men appreciate the little bitty things. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about
downplay it, or they don't realize it.
No, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Now I can't say that as men and women we don't get used to it and then we just forget how great it is until it's no longer there. You know what I'm saying?
All right, child, you here now.
Yeah. Right. Like you arrived. Yeah, we good. Like I don't have to appreciate. You always do that. So why am I, you know? But yeah, no, men do appreciate these little things. We appreciate the affirmation. Affirmation is like our biggest love language, and most men can't tell you that. It's too I don't want to say weak. It's too transparent. You know, we want to hold some cards back, and so men need affirmation. We need to be affirmed by a woman, but we don't want to tell you because that's weak.
Okay,
you know
so take me back, because you and I we're touching on some good stuff, but I want to go back a little bit.
Let's stay on fire. Yeah, absolutely.
So when it comes to it's complicated situation, and we do have a question already. I'll ask you that in a moment. But I want to go back to the blurred line of what we are.
Okay.
And I want to go back to that because there is something, and I think I can say this is true for men and women. There is something very just very stimulating about being chosen. It's one thing, right, to get what's left, right? If you go to McDonald's and all you have to eat is McDonald's, you eat McDonald's because that's what's there. But when you have, like, you know, your pick of where
catered in, you get
right, you don't want to bring something in.
I get it.
I feel a little Ruth Chris today. You
know? I get it.
I'm not trying to eat anything with GMOs. You know what I mean? I might have a little nectar, whatever it is. I am resolved, right, to my choice. And so when you're in a it's complicated situation, are we in danger of creating resentment because one or both parties feels like they are not the choice?
Yeah,
We may
absolutely.
not know about going down the line, but today I need to feel like I'm being chosen today, right? So can
What?
we
What? Go
go
ahead.
ahead?
No, no, no. What were you saying? You said your last
I
sentences
was gonna
were.
say,
Can we?
can we basically um, create an environment of resentment for each other if we go on indefinitely? Because let's be honest, we know people that have been in it's complicated situations for
For
years,
years,
and the woman is like, one day he's gonna
decades,
ask me to marry him,
decades. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's just like, I'm just not quite ready just yet, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Resentment. I think resentment is on the tail end of just the rat race of like, hey, it's just like a tit for tat thing. Like, hey, you know, I may show you that I'm not invested in this relationship as much as you may have thought I was. So
Mhm.
what do? You say like, I'm not, I'm still, it wasn't to the point where it may be like a Facebook post from me, right? I'm an example.
Right.
And then, so me and you are dating, just
Mhm.
an example. And I'll post a Facebook post and some young lady posts under it. And I comment something kind of like, she may say, "Oh, you look nice." And I'm like, "Thank you, heart face," or something like that, or,
Right.
whatever. And, in a
All
relationship,
up
that
under
would
your
probably be,
picture.
so in a relationship, that would be totally like, a violation. I'm sure that, somebody would not want, you to be, I mean, I get it. It's like an unwritten rule that you're not supposed to comment or like or heart that you can like it, but you can't do anything more than that.
Really?
Right?
Okay. See, for me,
Yeah. So
it's the oh, you're so beautiful. It's like thanks, and that's it. Thanks. It's not
there
thank
you go. That's
you,
what you can
thank you,
say. Thanks.
love, thank you,
Yeah, there you go.
sweetie.
Yeah, yeah, no, you got it. This is the same rule. We talking about the same
It's
thing.
just
You
thanks.
can say thanks. Yeah, thanks. That's like, hey,
Thanks.
it's like thanks. But if
Right.
you say thanks with an exclamation and a little any kind of
The,
emoji,
the
it's
heart
like
emoji with lips.
you said thanks. You know what I'm saying? You tilted your head and everything. It was different. So anyway,
Right.
I think that it starts a circle of like, hey, you
Yeah.
did this, so I'm gonna do this, and then I see you doing this, and I see you not invested, so I'm not gonna be invested. Then it's just like, hey, well, I see you, maybe, and maybe it's a conversation like, hey, I saw you, I thought whatever. Well, we didn't make it clear, and then it's just a back and forth
Right.
tit for tat. You know what I'm saying? It's just convoluted. That's why it's just so important to set those expectations up front. What do you want? Like, hey,
Okay.
so
So
like
wait, I'm going to stop you because I want to ask the question that was asked because that's right where you are.
all
It
right.
says, when should you tell someone what it is you're looking for in a partner without seeming like you're moving too fast or feel like you're coming on too strong?
You should tell them up front. You want to set the expectation. Like any kind of conference or any kind of speaker that I've been to in the past. I've been to dozens of Zooms, especially the last 6 months, and conferences, speakers. They set the tone
Yep.
of what's going to happen. They set your expectation. Hey, basically in this particular class or course or whatever, we prefer that you put your phones up. We prefer
Yep.
that you do this. We prefer that if you have to take a bathroom break, you mute your Zoom or you do this. Set the
Right.
expectation. That's what it
Right.
is. Like, and then that's what I'm saying. It kind of, the more honest, the more you know yourself, the more honest you can be. If you can, the more you know yourself, the more honest you can be. If you can and learn how to use the preference situation. That's just my opinion, my suggestion.
Mhm.
Learn that preference thing, and then you get to tell them everything because it's not like I'm asking you to do anything. You don't have to do anything.
Okay, so then can I ask you about this then? Let's
Yeah,
say we do that. Do
yeah.
you think there is an element of fear there that if if a man or a woman is not clear from the beginning, right? They're not setting their preferences at the forefront of the conversation. Do you think there's a level of fear there? Like they're afraid that if they express what they want and that person just flat out does not want to do that or cannot do it, that person will leave? Do you think there's a fear of the absence of the person keeping them
Absolutely.
from?
Yeah, and we should embrace that fear.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that's going to save us a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of everything. Because if we got to set those expectations, we got to be comfortable with people walking away. And we got to be comfortable with us walking away when it doesn't suit us anymore.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not sitting up here saying I'm perfect at it, because I'm not. I don't think any of us are. We're human, and when we invest in something, we want to see the thing through. But I think that we should be comfortable enough with ourselves. That's why know yourself. You have to know what moves you. If I need a hug every day, I need a 30-second hug every day. I'm comfortable with myself.
Though. Did you see how he? Wait, I want to point this out. Do you see how he just turned that up a little bit? It was, if I need a hug every day, I need a 30-second.
Well, that's a thing. I think I picked that up somewhere.
Ago,
I picked that up somewhere. It's like like some book I read.
Yeah.
Like hug for 30 seconds a day.
Yeah.
To connect with each other, because we're so busy, we don't. And it's really like, it's like grounding. Taking
I think I said this on another episode. My grandfather said, if you want to be married forever, never stop touching. Like on the way into the kitchen, pat her booty when she walks in the living room, like whatever it is you need to do so that you're just always connected, never stop touching.
And so I said that wrong too, because I don't want to be contradicting myself. I prefer us to hug 30 seconds.
I prefer for us to hug every day for 30 seconds. I need a 30-second hug. Okay, so then how do we cut the cord? Number one, do you think there is a place for complicated relationships? Is complicated the correct term for it?
I think that complicated. I think that Facebook kind of made that a real thing because it's really a relationship status. It's complicated.
Right.
So, but I think I don't really think it should live. In relationships, you have to be it's better to be black or white, like you have to be like, either you are dating something. So dating exclusivity. So I started this thing. I started dating exclusively, where it's like, all right, cool, we're dating. We're not necessarily in a relationship, but I've decided that us dating has led me to a point where I would like to date you exclusively. Are you okay with that? I think every man should have that in his tool bag.
I'm confused. So, okay, let me say what you said again, and you tell me if I'm right. We're dating. We're not necessarily in a relationship, but I've decided to date you exclusively.
Yes.
So explain the difference between exclusive and
dating.
Relationship for me.
Okay, all right. Exclusive and relationship. It's saying it's to get you out of that mold of the complicated relationship, or okay. It's complicated. You get what I'm saying? Because it can't be complicated if you're saying, hey, I know we just met maybe a month ago, so I don't know if, you're ready for a relationship. I don't know if you know everything about me to go there.
Right.
But we've been spending time enough together to understand, maybe this is a conversation, this is like us talking to, each other about this. But it's like, hey, I would like to not, so here's what happens. You start dating somebody. You like them. You continue to date. You don't set expectations. So either both of y'all can float. So really, Friday night, y'all got plans Saturday. Homie can go, hang out with,
whoever
Lucy.
He wants.
You know what I'm saying? And she can go with Brian, and it's a thing. So, and what happens with that is that if I start liking Lucy and I'm dating Lisa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Lisa's great, And you know what I'm saying? And Lucy, she dope. You know what I'm saying? Like she everything. Like, so what do? I
What do you
continue to
mean?
kind of,
What do you
you know
mean?
what I'm saying?
Like,
No,
it
no.
looks
I
like
mean,
Lucy's the girl.
we can say that that's no. I'm saying you just as dope as her. I just really kind of just said two more words towards Lucy,
Right.
just because it wasn't that she doper than you. It's just that she, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are equally as dope. So like, here's the thing. So then what do? These are real things. We can't run from this. This is really how things go, and this goes for Lisa. You could be dating Brian, and in court, I'm dope. Brian's dope. You know what I'm saying? We're both great guys. We both, goal oriented. We both bring this, and this. But what do? So you know what I'm saying? So you get convoluted. You end up breaking. Somebody gonna get their heart broken. Trust me. If you got two people that are thinking that they're, being groomed for the one, and then somebody got to go. Everybody can't stay.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
everybody
that's
got
the thing. So
somebody has to go.
instead of that, you say at the very moment when you think that this person is somebody that you can see yourself with long term, you switch it. You say, hey, look, this is either the man or the woman, because we have different personality types to cater to, right?
Right.
So we say, hey, look, let's exclusively date until we figure out, you know what I'm saying, until we both decide that we want to be in a relationship together
Right.
and do it exclusively. So we cut out all the Brians and Lucys and all that, and we do our thing.
So okay, so you're in the dating. At that point, you guys are dating, meaning you're only
Mm-hmm.
dating each other, but you're still
Exactly.
not in a relationship yet.
Exactly.
Okay, so then explain to me again what my incentive is to just be dating Kory when I'm not in a relationship. So I'm saying to Brian, I can't go to dinner with you because I'm dating Kory, but I don't know if I'm not in a relationship with Kory, and so I can't go to dinner with you.
I get what you're saying. I get
Yeah,
where you're
I'm
going, and
trying to
so
understand it.
I have
What's my incentive?
I have a completely different. Um, I think, man, I don't want to put a gender to this rule because,
Okay.
but I kind of do though.
Okay. Go
I
ahead. I
think,
want to
I
hear what you
think,
have
I
to say.
think, I think because so it's not. So here's the thing. Here's my compromise with the, you know what I'm saying, with my sisters, is that,
I feel
hey,
like this is a double standard coming.
no, it's not a
Okay.
double standard. I'm trying to figure it out. Look, this whole thing is for us trying to figure it out. So I'm trying to get you to, I'm just telling you how I've been trying to work through this thing.
Okay.
Trust me, I got experience running through this thing. I do, but I ain't, that's what I'm saying. I haven't figured it out, but I'm
Okay.
telling you the things that have worked the best for me to get
Okay.
to the next level. So what the double standard is what I'm going to say is that, look, so the exclusively dating thing is to say that, hey, I am gonna date you and you're gonna date me until we decide not to date each other anymore. It basically is just saying that, hey, I want to put all my energy to figure out who you are. I'm not saying we're gonna exclusively date for years. That's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? And even I like, it would be comfortable. It would be a good thing to put a time limit on this. Hey, I would like to exclusively date you for the next 30 days, 60 days, to try to find out if you're going to be. So the kingdom man is going to the kingdom man is going to have the mentality to marry you anyway, right?
Right.
So that's the thing. It's not like, I don't really, honestly, at this point in my relationship, in my life, I'm 35 years old. I'm 35 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, think about it.
I'm okay. I'm okay with not being in a relationship because I need to make a decision. And that's the compromise I'm going to give you, is because I know where you're going. If you exclusively date me, that takes you. I'm taking you out of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking you for me, and I'm not giving you anything in return. I'm not telling you that I'm gonna marry you, but all I'm saying is that we remove the distractions, because this world is full of distractions. So for this time period, Let's remove all the distractions from both of us and figure
Right.
out if this works. At the end of this time period, you can put a time on it. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Whatever. It sounds good, right? But 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 during this exclusively dating period, you would figure out whether you're gonna date, whether you're gonna go forward or not. And when I say go forward, that doesn't mean it. All right, he's not gonna set the expectation. Of course, he's not gonna set the expectation that, oh, we're dating now, we're about to exclusively date, and then I'm gonna exclusively date you, and then once I get off, that period is up, then we get married. Nah, I mean, you gotta have the element of decency and in order of a man choosing a woman in the proper respect and surprising her and letting her know, not just so on a schedule,
Mm-hmm.
that you want to be with her for the rest of your life. So I feel like that exclusively dating is a protection. It's decency and order. It's
Mm-hmm.
because, hey, we don't need everybody else. If you seriously about me, we wanna get to know each other, we don't need nobody else to do that. It's just gonna cloud our judgment. You know what I'm saying? Because you may date somebody else and he may pull up, or he may buy you a better dinner, or he may have better conversation, or he may smell better, whatever. And it could cloud you. It could make you miss your blessing because
Absolutely.
you're looking at something really,
Shiny,
tangible or something
shiny object syndrome, right?
shiny object. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So
I
anyway.
want to I want to ask you this question. It says, is it wrong to be completely honest early in a relationship? I mean, lay everything on the table about your past and your expectations. I'm gonna have you answer this one because I have a hard time with this question, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear you. I want to hear you
Okay,
first.
let me tell you why I have a hard time with this question.
All
Early
right.
in a relationship, I'm not trying to tell you every single thing about my past because I don't know you like that. Like for me
Absolutely.
personally, we have to be in a relationship. I know you're mine. You know I'm yours. We've gotten over this hurdle of figuring things out, and we think there is going to be a future. Then you need to know those things. But when we're dating, you on a need to know basis, and right now you don't need to know. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. But I want you to answer that question. Is it wrong to be completely honest early in a relationship? I mean, lay everything on the table about your past and your expectation. And I have a reason why, but I want you to answer and then I'll come back.
All right. It's not wrong. It
Yeah.
depends on who you are.
Okay.
Like if you wanna lay it down, then that's what it is. Like that's cool. But I would say that if if there's just certain things that somebody could tell me that I wouldn't understand unless I knew you first. I need to know you first before you drop, that you stabbed somebody like, 2, 3 years ago because,
Right.
they ate just some of your pancake or something.
Right.
Like, I
Right.
need to know, I need to see you in action. I need to learn you. Cause I mean, honestly, like something, I mean, there are red flags and you have to like take those into consideration.
And
Like
some stuff will
people,
scare you off. Absolutely.
uh, I mean, honestly, you can't take a chance with some of this stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Absolutely. And
So
and I want to say one reason why I say that you have to be very careful about that is because we always talk about um I'm sorry.
no, you good.
There one of the things that um I want to be clear about is in the beginning of a relationship, you have to be careful with what you release. I'm sorry, I have to return this
No,
message.
it's all good.
Had a
You have to be careful with what you release to
Yes,
somebody else.
yes. You have to be careful with what you release to people because if I were dishonest, if I were not an honest person, that I could take things that I knew about you, I could
Mm,
use them to my advantage and
yeah,
pretend to be
absolutely.
someone I'm not
Yeah,
and have an unfair advantage over you
absolutely.
before time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that being careful with what you share when you share it is
Mhm,
on some level guarding your heart because you
mhm.
don't know if that person's intentions toward you are pure just yet.
I agree, totally, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got this. So when do we cut the cord? When do we say, you know what? You've been in limbo. You said it was going to be 60 days, and now I'm knocking on 375 days of us dating exclusively. When do we kick you to the curb?
Who is we?
You dating Stacy, right? Stacy. When does
Me?
Kory
when does Stacy cut the cord, or when
Kory to the curb because they ain't in a relationship yet?
Hold on. So is it, you want me to answer for Stacy, but is it different for Kory?
I don't know, Kory.
All right.
I think if Stacy's the one going, we need to talk, and Kory just
okay. All right. I get it.
365 days. You ain't said nothing.
Stace, what you mean? Like, so we're gonna watch Netflix or not? You know, no.
Right.
So if Stacy's like, hey, this is what it is. So here's the other side of it, is that I have grown to, in my maturation, I have grown to really feel like, and I really understand this more so now that, that I've, like I said, in my maturation, I believe that no woman should see. So like, here's the thing: exclusively dating doesn't really have to lead into a relationship.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I think that a relationship brings about so many expectations, so many marriage-like things that it probably shouldn't exist anymore. Not where we are.
Okay.
Because it should be, hey, I'm dating you. Maybe we're exclusively dating, and that should be it. It should go in. The man should make the decision.
And if he doesn't make, because what I find is that men are sometimes. Can you? Oh, I'm sorry. I just got another question. Okay. What I find is that sometimes men are stuck. And when I say stuck, I don't always think, I think they're stuck for different reasons. I think there are some men, I have lots of male friends, okay? And before at least 3 of them got married, 2 of them, it was, if I let this girl go, somebody's gonna get her, and I know that she's a good girl.
Right.
I gotta keep her, but I'm not ready to make a decision.
Exactly. Yeah.
So one of them, the girl had been with him for 5 years, waiting on him to make a decision. But he wanted, men I want to have a house, and I want to have this car, and my business needs to be doing this and all that good stuff. And so they have a tendency, and we're going to touch on this, they have a tendency to want all the marriage and relationship benefits without the actual relationship. Right. So are you telling me that while we're dating exclusively, there's no expectation of any kind of sexual content whatsoever, because that's reserved for the marriage?
Depends on the relationship. And it should be. I think it should be reserved. I think the most healthy relationship will be reserved, right?
Right.
But I mean, like it takes 2 really strong, connected to God people, connected to the word, like that have a different governing authority.
Absolutely.
Like they have a different set of rules that they live by. Absolutely. And so if you have that, then that's beautiful, because it removes a lot of the distractions that you will have in a relationship that involve, everything else.
Absolutely.
Physical. So I think Stacy, did we say her name's Stacy, right?
Yeah, your girlfriend Stacy.
My girlfriend Stacy.
Your girlfriend Stacy. Well, she's not your girlfriend. Stacey. Y'all are in a relationship.
She's not my girlfriend. We exclusively dated.
So then, do you leapfrog over relationship? Do you just say we're dating exclusively and then propose?
I don't really, honestly. Honestly, I'm cool with not being in a relationship and dating exclusively, because at the moment it's not like we have to break up. It's that we stop dating exclusively. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, like I said, relationships come with so much marriage type situations. Hey, I'm just telling you this. Go ahead, ask the question.
Wait, I need y'all in the comments.
Tell me.
Tell us
think.
if you agree. So what we're saying is that
Where are the comments at? Is this on Facebook?
no, people are private messaging me.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Okay, but some people are going to right now. They're getting ready to say something because I need to know this. So okay,
Yeah,
so then
bring some people in. Let's bring some people in if they on here and they want to say something.
let me see. You guys put in the comments if you want to say something, if you want to ask a question audibly.
Rodney wants to ask a question.
Okay, Rodney, I'm gonna unmute you, Rodney. Hold on one second.
This is my boy, you know.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, Rodney.
Hey, how you doing, Lisa?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. So I'm in agreement with Kory about like the exclusive dating aspect.
Okay.
But I don't believe, like, I'm not agreeing with him when he says like just not moving and transitioning to the relationship.
Okay.
Because I feel like this exclusive dating is it's a stepping stone to grow and allow you to evaluate that person, like KJ was saying, with the distractions being removed.
Right.
So it's like it's saying that I'm feeling you, I'm into you, I want to keep exploring and find out more about you and discover new things about you and get a better understanding of who you are.
Right.
And if you're most definitely a long-term fit for me as far as spending the rest of my life, and as we continue to do that, that's when it would transition into a strictly relationship, me and that woman.
Right.
So I don't necessarily agree with him when he says you don't have to go to a relationship, because like you said earlier, the whole purpose of us dating is to be married and become a union, right? So
right.
If we not working towards that common goal, then what are we doing?
Exactly. Okay. Hold on. Anybody want to address this for Rodney? Anybody? Let me know. Everybody quiet. Well, I will address it, Rodney. Let me say this. I agree with you because let me tell you why. I agree with Rodney because I think that if you're dating exclusively, blotting out distractions, I think that's great. That's not a method that I have used. I feel like, I'm on the market till you take me off that mug. You know what I mean? Like if you don't say something to me, because what I won't be is the girl who thinks she has a boyfriend when she doesn't have one.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So, I find something. It's that testosterone. It's like, I don't want nobody kind of hanging out with my girl, right? I want that advantage of having all of her attention. But I think personally, I'm just gonna put this out there a little bit.
No, go ahead.
My boy, yeah. Right?
I'm about to debunk it. I'm about to debunk it in a second. So go ahead.
I think it's a little fear driven. Let me tell you why. Because the thing is, if our ultimate goal is marriage, I gotta see how you transition from dating me exclusively to getting to know me to then modeling, because you got to remember, I don't have husband expectations out of you, but I do have to see you living your life in a way that makes me say that man could be my husband. So I can't get that if we're not in close relationship with each other, because we're not I absolutely agree that the moment you get into a relationship with someone, that's the point where you start observing them in a different way. Now you're making you're making decisions for your own life. But I know, man, if we were together and we were married and he made that decision, we would be all right. You know what I mean? It's no more, it's abandoning the I for a we. I feel like when you don't make that transition, I, as the woman, don't really know if you can be my husband. I never get to see you in action that way.
I get it.
You know what I mean? So it's like a mental transition from the dating to relationship thing. So that's why I agree with Rodney.
All right. And so
Rodney. I can't see you. High five.
Rodney, she just want to hit you with the high. He reluctantly hit you with the high five.
I know it's a computer.
So here's the thing. The thing is that when you dial into this relationship,
Yeah.
it has so many similarities to a marriage that's why Stacy trying to talk to me about our 5-year relationship
Yep.
that we still in, and she trying to figure out what the next step is,
Right.
because that relationship, saying you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, it's like a mini marriage. You know what I'm saying? It comes with you go sit here and tell me that a girlfriend boyfriend thing, it's like, oh, you my girlfriend, like she gonna say that man is my boyfriend, like he's mine. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying, and you looking left, but you gotta really understand men.
Yeah.
And I'm a man, so you gotta understand us. Is that you gotta keep us in the space, or we can understand that we could lose you.
Yeah.
If we think we got you, which that girlfriend, boyfriend stuff will do.
Right.
What's the reason? What's the point? That's why we 5 years down the line, and I'm like, huh? We ain't good right now? Because you my girlfriend. What you mean? We've been together? Nah, that's what I'm saying. Don't let me give you a title if I'm not putting a ring on it. I'm telling you, that's why it's all these relationships and no marriages.
Oh, I got a good one. Okay, so why do men bring up futures together and initiate the relationship talk and then fall back or disappear and then try to come back after weeks of not talking?
Because they're not exclusively dating. He got several, probably another woman or several, you know what I'm saying, on the side, and he ain't got the attention span to pay attention to you. So he wants you. He don't want you to go nowhere, but he can't be there like you want him to. You get what I'm saying? That's why. But it wasn't serious enough to be in a relationship. But it certainly was okay to be dating. So that's that middle ground where it should have been.
You on reserve.
Nah, he just wanted to date you. So he dating you. Dating you has no. Hey, we're just look. You see me out with another woman? We're dating. What are you talking about? Like, nah, we ain't in no relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So right. That's what I'm saying. This exclusively dating is very, 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 very strategic.
I want to revisit the statement you made about being boyfriend and girlfriend feeling like a marriage.
Yeah, it is.
I just don't agree with that. And let me tell you why. Because, there are things you get when you're my husband that you're not going to get as my boyfriend, right? And nobody's going to get as my boyfriend. But my thing is, like, and I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking in general. Like, there is just, we're both living our lives. Like, you should see me out here. You should see me out here getting this money. You should see me out here getting this work. You should see that I'm a hustler. I'm doing this or that. And you can be like, man, if she was on my team, man. And you should be able to make that assessment. But I'm not, showing up to the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, making you breakfast in bed so you can see, you know what I mean? I'm a good cook or whatever. Like, I cook, yeah. And I love sharing food. And will I cook for my man? Absolutely. But, like, you shouldn't be shutting down all meals because I can cook. Like, that's still your responsibility. You know what I mean? I'm not cleaning your house. I'm not doing anything like that because that's still your stuff. So I feel like the problem has come where we have blurred the lines between what dating and marriage is so much.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I
don't have to marry you to have all the benefits of being married.
Absolutely.
So why get married?
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying is because people are like, we need, we make up our own rules.
Yeah.
We do what we want. So it's like, hey, you may not do it, Lisa, but I'm telling you from experience. There are 10 other women that will come in and cook your food and rub your feet and sweep your floors, mop them, you know what I'm saying, light an incense, and you know what I'm saying, like lock the door on the way out. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you're still single.
And you're still single. That's what I'm saying. So no, you're still dating. Let's put it in.
Still dating.
You're still dating, Not
Right.
exclusively. No,
Right.
not exclusively. You're still dating.
You're just dating.
You're just dating. You're not even exclusively dating. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is that that's what changes the line. It's like, hey, if I'm dating you, Lisa, and I know you're an amazing woman, but she just lit the ice incense and my floor smell like fabuloso. Like, for real. Like, you
I
know
would
what
go
I'm
get
saying?
her.
Like,
And if you ask Lisa, Lisa would say, you need to go get her.
right,
You need to
that's
get
what
with
I'm
her.
saying.
That's the
Right.
one.
And so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But look, if I was exclusively dating you,
Right.
she would
You
never
wouldn't
be
care
here.
about the fabuloso because you wouldn't
She
smell.
would never be here. She wouldn't be here because I'm
Right.
exclusive. I make the transition. It's not like I got to dial into you. It's not like I'm being weird. Because look, some women will look at you and say, hey, you say, hey, I want to be in a relationship after 3 weeks. Like, I think we need to take more time.
Yeah.
Like, you got to think about these things. And like, it's so much easier for me to say, hey, look, I just want to date you. Not necessarily be in a relationship. I just want to date you.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, like, this is how men work. I'm going to tell you, this is the thing.
Tell me how men work, Kory.
Men, I'm telling you, like, men, if we think we're okay where we are, if we're comfortable where we are, we will stay there. We will sit there. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that in my own life, I haven't been married because I've seen I've never asked a woman to be my wife, period.
Right.
Never, you know what I'm saying, proposed.
Right.
And so I think that's because I've been spoiled in the situations that I've been in. And it was like, hey.
Your floor smells like fabuloso. I would agree with you. But on the flip side of that, I wonder if you, and this is just, you know, I'm older than you, so I could talk big sister, little brother situation.
Absolutely. Come on.
I wonder if you cheat yourself, because in as much as she has a lot to offer you, you have a lot to offer her. Think of how powerful a union like that could be. And sometimes we allow our spoiled or our comfort to keep us in one space. We have no idea how big the next space could be, because we're so comfortable in that one spot, right? I got somebody that'll come in and she'll fabuloso my floors, and I don't really have to do too much of anything, and we're just good. And it's comfortable. I can still kind of do me, but you don't know that, like, that next woman might be like, but this one gets me to mogul status. And I'm free on a totally different level, because I think for so long we looked at marriage as bondage. We have a tendency to indirectly be like, well, wait a minute, I'm not in the chains yet. But a real marriage, a good marriage, shouldn't feel like chains, right? You should feel like you have the freedom.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Grind as hard as you need, and you have somebody else to help you do that. The Bible says it, 2 are better than 1, right?
Absolutely.
So you come together, and that thing explodes like this. You think about your hustle. Imagine having a woman that could match that. Like, how can you skip over her for the girl putting fabuloso on your floors?
No. I'm saying, I was joking. But but
that's what I'm saying. I just think
I get it. You're selling yourself short. No, I totally agree. I have nothing against that. Yeah, true.
But and don't get me wrong, because there's more than enough. Listen, I'm divorced, right? I have had years and years of telling myself I will never get married again.
Really?
Right? I will. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yes. I said it over and over again for 6 years.
Wow.
6 years. Just, I don't ever want to get married again. I wasn't even open to being exclusive. I just feel like, you don't ask me, when we're together, we get, we're together. And when we're not, we're not. And I don't ask you what you're doing.
What about that relationship what made you come to that mindset?
I don't even think it was his fault. He definitely had deficiencies, right? But because I did not know how to recognize who was a viable mate for me, right? I knew I wasn't a stay-at-home mom. I knew that I was a free spirit. I knew that any man who's going to be with me was going to have to be happy with somebody that changes their hair every other week, because that's how I get down, right? I knew that I was not the woman is, you know, I cook? Absolutely. I love cooking. But you know what I also love doing? Mergers and acquisitions, international business. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was that person. And so I misidentified a person who needed me to build them only from someone who could allow me the freedom to build my own empire.
Absolutely.
And when you have a person that is ambitious and their spirit is broken, you've killed them. So once they get a whiff of that spirit again, they're like, never again.
I can't do you.
I can't do it, because let me tell you something. When I got back in the game, I took off. I took off, right?
I get it. No, I totally understand. Yeah, I totally. You tried to, I call that, he tried to plantationalize you.
Right, basically low key, right? With the whips, like low key. So for me, I think industry, and I think, you know, I'm so grateful that there's this resurgence of praise of the Black woman, because I think industry and everything else kind of tells you that there is more B. Simones out there than there are women, you know what I mean, that are driven and goal-oriented and all that, and that's just not the truth. There are women out here.
Hold on, what do you mean by that? More B. Simones than goal-oriented?
Oh, you didn't watch the episode last week when B. Simone.
Some people wouldn't know. Some people don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me explain.
I don't know.
B. Simone is a YouTuber that got famous in her car by fussing about her boyfriend.
But she's on, is she not on?
Now she's on Wild Now.
Cannon?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm going to tell you the trajectory. So she was in her car. She was fussing about her boyfriend. Then all of a sudden that spurred her into what we have, this now Insta famous thing, where she transitioned to becoming a comedian. Now that she's on Wild and Out, she's making a couple of coins. She don't want to mess with a man that has a 9-to-5 job.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
I don't want the man with a 9-to-5 job. He has to be an entrepreneur. Now, let's just be real. If she knew what a real entrepreneur went through, she would know that that man with a 9-to-5 might have a little more stability every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
the entrepreneur has that parachute on, and we jumps off the cliff and pull the cord and hope it come out. You know?
Hope parachute. What's that? What's a parachute?
Right.
In entrepreneurship.
We have a glorification of that kind of woman right now.
Yeah.
And you have younger generations that look up to people like that and say, there's going to be a hustler that's going to be out here. And instead of me building my life for myself, there's going to be somebody that comes and rescues me from my life. But that's not a fair expectation for a man or a woman. I shouldn't be rescuing you from your life. I shouldn't be making your life better. I should be accentuating your already great life. Your life blows up because you are already dope when I got there. I was dope and you're dope. And so this thing that we have is this big now, right? So for me, when I had to make that transition, it was like, I absolutely will not ever get married again unless I meet somebody who's so secure in themselves that I can be who I am. I can be driven, right? I'm the person that I'm going to work hard on an endeavor like this, 24 hours a day. And then I'm going to lean back like, whew, it's done. And it might be Friday afternoon that it was done. But on Monday morning, I got a new idea.
Absolutely.
And I'm running after that.
When's your birthday, Lacey?
I'm sorry?
When's your birthday?
February 5th.
What is that? No, I'm telling you, what's your sign?
Oh, I'm an Aquarius. I'm really
okay. Yeah, I think, I get it.
Yeah.
This is like a 3-month period where we all like that. I'm a Pisces, so I'm March 15th.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, self-starters. So, yeah, I get it. Anyway, keep going. I ain't want to interrupt.
So that's what transitioned me from, you know, I'm not even open to it anymore. Thank God, right? And I don't know if you know this, I'm a licensed minister, right? I am very, very heavily entrenched in my relationship with God. I don't say the church because I am the church. But when it comes to relationship with God, I'm serious about that thing. And the good thing about that is he changes things, right? And so my entire outlook about relationships, I had to be honest with myself and say that the reason why I wasn't getting married was because I did not trust myself to make the right decision for myself. Right? When in essence, God has made us intelligent beings, fully capable of choosing the right person if we pay attention to the sign. And I wasn't paying attention. I was asleep.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Okay, you guys, we have a few more minutes with Kory. I want you guys, if you guys have questions, what is it that we need? What is it that we have to do in order for us to meet in the middle? What is it? I'm going to say, if you had a final thought to give us, this whole conversation, which has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. This is hard because this is like not a 1 hour conversation, right? But,
yeah, no, it's not. And we had no preface. Me and Lisa hadn't talked at all.
Okay, so I do that on purpose. I want your organic on the fly.
I get it.
Right.
And that's how I would rather it be done. You see, I ain't hit you up. I'm like, I don't care what,
right. I wasn't going to ask you. I wanted you to be off.
Yeah, I don't want you to, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it on,
So thinking about everything.
My final thought.
Yeah.
My final thought is that, so I believe heavily in counseling. I think that every person individually should go to counseling.
Absolutely.
With themselves and talk to somebody, because it's different talking to your friends. They love you. My friends love me. Your friends love you, I'm sure. But at the same time, sometimes our friends can pacify us in such a way where we don't really get, and they love us. They know they can't tell us the truth. You know what I'm saying? And neither do they want to argue with us or lose our friendship. You know what I'm saying? But a totally third party, especially somebody that you're willing to pay, I believe that. It's like, I guarantee if we would have told everybody, hey, this relationship, this podcast, or this blog or whatever is $5, and like everybody that wants to, come in, what I'm saying, we promoted it, whatever, everybody that paid that $5 would be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it was hundreds of people that said, hey, I'm going to watch that. And then they didn't log on. They'll log on later. Thank you for logging on later. But at the same time, my thing is that if you pay for something, you treat it different.
Yep.
And so if you love yourself like you should, and like, like I love you, and you will understand that it's so important to know yourself in such a manner with a professional. And you can be a God, you can pray to God all day, but God gave us the wherewithal to understand that we need to seek professionals in our life. We go to the dentist, right? We go to the doctor, right? So we need to seek somebody to help us in our mental space and our mental health. So, and that's one thing that will give you a jump start on, like you, because everybody has their nuances. We all came up, we're Black. Now I can't say all of us are Black, but all of us have come from families that had trauma. You get what I'm saying? No matter what your ethnicity is, we all have had some type of trauma that we probably most likely haven't unpacked because we don't speak with professionals on a daily basis. So my final thought is that, hey, connect with somebody. There are so many resources now. There's Faithful Counseling. It's an app. They have several apps now that you can go on your phone, log on, pay, $30 a week or something like that, and talk to a counselor once a week, from your iPhone, a licensed counselor, FaceTime or whatever. So do that. And love yourself. Love yourself enough to know when something doesn't feel right, when somebody is not respecting you or somebody is not treating you what you deserve. We're all beautiful people. Our individuality is to be accepted and loved and cherished and revered. Right. So we should love ourselves to not be put in situations that that hurt us, that bring us backwards, and that waste our time.
Absolutely.
The most valuable thing that you have, the gift that God has given you, is your time. Mm-hmm. Not that this is the end all. This is not the place that we're gonna, be forever, and this is not our final resting place as we know as Christians. But this is the place where we earn that, and we're put here for a reason, to figure out to earn it.
Yeah.
And so you know what I'm saying. So we need to make sure that we love ourselves and love those people around us enough to know when to, when to hold them and when to fold them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my final thought, though. This was fun. I appreciate
you
bringing
so
me out.
much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Isn't it a good feeling? Isn't it a good feeling when it all, works out? You never know. We never had a conversation before, aside from messaging each other. And then when you get on each other and you have a vibe and stuff, it's cool.
Absolutely.
It's nothing but divine intervention when those.
Absolutely. Listen, you have given, thank you so much for having this conversation. You guys, thank you all so much for coming. I truly appreciate you guys. If you guys ever have any desire to come to any of the Lisa Dannielle After Darks, the code is the same every single week. So if you already have the login information, we're here every Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Kory's episode will rebroadcast. Today is Friday. It'll rebroadcast Sunday night. Kory, I will tag you so that you can let everybody know that it's coming on, and it'll be on Facebook Live. So just send them all over there. Kory White, thank you so much.
Can I tell them one last
give me all your
thing?
contact info.
If you have any real estate, anything that, I work nationwide, so any real estate issues, send them my way. It doesn't matter if you're in Florida or Washington State, Maine, you can be in, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're not outside the U.S., I can handle it. So my contact information, you can reach me on Instagram at Kory Jamil White, Jamiel, so Kory Jamil White. I am on Facebook, my Kory White, KJ White. I have 4 or 5 pages, so you can look up Kory White, Kory White, and I'm there. And what else? LinkedIn, Kory White, KJ White on LinkedIn. And my phone number, I have a business phone number that you can reach out to. It is, hold on, let me see here. 1 second. It is 214-949-4321. So anything you have, real estate, or anything like that, if you just if you're on your last leg and you need to holler at me, hit me up. 214-949-4321.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kory. I appreciate you. Thank you, all of you, for coming. I'm looking over here because that's where all of y'all are, but I know that you're there. Thank you guys so much for coming. That is a wrap. Thanks so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.
All right, Lisa. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Wasn't that amazing? I am so grateful that Kory was able to come and share his thoughts with us today. And remember, we're here every single week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Feel free to send me a message at contact@lisadannielle.com, and we'll make sure that we get you access. Listen, this has been an amazing conversation. I want you to make sure that you're intentional, you're prepared, you're operating in purpose, and remember, I believe in you. Now it's time for you to believe in yourself. Take care, and I'll see you soon.